So guys, I don't know if a lot of you understand or know this, but I basically had to force myself this generation to like Nvidia. I'm such an AMD guy. Like I really do. I love AMD. I love everything about it. But so this generation, I literally had to force myself, at least at the beginning, to like Nvidia the way I like AMD, and that essentially means that I have to kind of overlook some of the stupid nitpick stuff that like most of us nitpick about, because let's be real, there's things on both AMD and Nvidia that you could go out of your way to nitpick to make it seem like it's not as good as the other one. I mean, that's just how you do it. Like, you become a fanboy of something, or you like a product and you just start to really, it's like with your kids, man. Like, my kids are the perfect little angels. I promise you, they could never do no wrong type mindset when it comes to the products that you like. And I mean, like, obviously your kids are probably, you're not going to be trading your kid out for a different brand. I mean, you're going to keep your kid, whereas with Nvidia or AMD, there's always that thing that could set you over the edge and make you not like them. So look, guys, it is true. I essentially had to force myself this generation to look at Nvidia from a different point of view. And as I can see, this would have been the generation, seriously, to be like as negative about Nvidia as possible. And guys, like, I get accused of being like clickbaity all the time, you know what I mean? Or I get accused of like liking a product that everybody else is against. And honestly, guys, it really just does come down to mindset. Could I turn back the hands of time and start going at Nvidia again like I used to? Yeah, but it wouldn't be real like my frustration was before. Like, it wouldn't be real. It would feel more forced now. It would feel like, oh man, everybody else is against MFG, I gotta be against MFG. Everybody else is against this, I gotta be against that. And when you look at the stuff that people have went out of their way to hate Nvidia for this generation, I mean, it's like, I said that shit for like 2 years. The pricing, feeling ripped off, losing power, still paying more money. I've got plenty of videos like that. Plenty of videos. And, at this point, guys, I really just don't think that no matter how much we complain or demand better or, speak with our wallets or all of that stuff, I don't think anything's going to change, because the pricing, the MSRP pricing is still pretty consistent with what they've been charging you all along the way. Look, the shrink inflation thing, getting less for more. I mean, when you can like legit play the same things that you were playing before at the same, at the same or better performance with just raw power, I don't think that argument holds as much water. Just because of this like little thing, it's not that you shouldn't be mad or upset that they're skimping out on stuff. Like, you should, like that is a very valid, that's a very valid reason, guys. It really is. And I'm not saying that kind of way of thinking is bad. Not at all, man. It's one of those things where like every year we get a new car. Sometimes they keep the same body style for a couple of years, but they upgrade stuff, and every year it's a different year of car or whatever. And with GPUs, it's kind of the same. Like, they just keep cranking this crap out every 2 years. They don't really do anything to really make it any better or make it like any worse or any of that. The developers barely have time to understand what the new architecture is actually capable of, and then they don't ever implement any of the stuff in there, just because the dev cycle for games is so long now that them putting out GPUs every 2 years, It just doesn't make any sense anymore. It just does not line up. Like you're finally starting to see stuff like, look at Death Stranding 2 on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Like that architecture, that system is starting to get mature. Developers are starting to understand what it can and can't do, and you're starting to see them take more advantage of that hardware. Whereas with GPUs, we get a new GPU every 2 years. And the one thing that I hear a lot about in the gaming community is these games are unoptimized. These games are and I'm like, okay, guys, look, when I first bought into PC, I went into it with a mindset like, yeah, man, I'm going to max everything out. And I paid more for a PC and everybody, you know, dude, like I legit, like I wasn't like PC illiterate when I got into PC gaming, but I was like, I just had these unrealistic expectations because of how people talk about PC gaming. And so I go into it thinking that like, yeah, it's going to do this. And then I got myself on this freaking roller coaster when it comes to PC that it was just like, look, man, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And now it's like, I'm to a point right now where I can move across, you know, Intel, AMD, Nvidia, and pretty much find a good experience no matter where I'm at. Even if I'm on a 50-50 on the lowest end card, like I can get myself a playable experience. I can. And I think that's what matters the most in PC gaming. I don't think it matters how much money you spend on your hardware. I don't think it matters what features it's got anymore. I don't think any of that stuff actually matters anymore. I don't think multi-frame generation matters, especially to the extent that people are like railing against it. Like it's a feature. It makes your games a little bit better. It makes them smoother, whatever. Dude, turn it on or don't. Like, I don't even care. Do whatever you want to do, man. If you don't want to use it, don't freaking use it. Spend the money on a 5090 because that is the only way that you are getting generational uplift over the last, yeah. Nvidia proved it this generation that like if you want a true generational uplift in power, you got to buy a 90 class card. Anything else under that, you're just not getting, you're not getting an upgrade anymore. You're getting features, you're getting, you know, basically the same. At least for now, AMD is doing the same thing, basically telling you, look, man, we'll sell you the power, but we're giving you features. It is what it is, take it or leave it. So yeah, if you want more power, you got to buy a 90 class card. So turn the features on, don't turn them on, do whatever you got to do. But yeah, guys, it's pretty crazy that I forced myself to like Nvidia this generation. I mean, it's not, yeah. I kind of did, you know, because I'm to a point, like seriously, guys, with PC gaming, that like if AMD doesn't have it, I probably don't need it, because all you hear from everybody on Nvidia is, oh man, I can barely use it, you know, and that's been the case. You buy a lower end card, you can't use the features. So yeah, that's been the case. 100% reasonable. People are mad because they can't even use the features they're buying the card for. That's why I say, look, if AMD doesn't have it, I probably don't need it. And that has worked out pretty good. I mean, it's been a good philosophy for me going forward. Look, man, I'm truly happy with AMD. I really am truly happy with AMD. Nvidia is a nice distraction. Blackwell's probably the best Nvidia experience that I've ever had, aside from, you know, obviously the drivers and like, I'm not even joking, guys. If I switch my screen over here, the 1080p, the 4K 1080p one, if I hit that button, these screens just start blinking. They just start blinking until I legitimately restart the PC, and that is so annoying. That doesn't happen on the AMD. Like on the AMD, it's a smooth process. Well, as smooth as it can get. So look, guys, I'm an AMD guy, but I am trying to treat Nvidia fair. And as tempting as it is to just start railing against MFG and DLSS and AI and all of that stuff and going after Nvidia and just being belligerent. Yeah, why? I just asked myself, I'm like, why? Like, it wouldn't be real. It would just feel forced. Before, I was still naive enough to you know what I mean? I was still naive enough in the PC gaming to where I could hold that little grudge and anger and be mad and be like, yeah, this is better. But when you really boil it down, like these GPUs this generation are so damn close that it's like, it's like, oh my gosh, man, like what's the point? What's the point? It's they're so samey now, it just doesn't even matter. Like FSR4 is equally on par with DLSS, and DLSS is a lot better than it was before, and frame generation works on both of them. So it's like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of tearing one down to build one up, or, you know, going out of my way to buy all these products just to try to make hate content on them? It just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. So yeah, I really did kind of have to force myself to like Nvidia this generation and treat it nice. So all right, guys, if you like this ramble, hit that like and subscribe. If you don't, at least tell me why, and then I don't know, we'll see you guys in the next one. Froggy out.